The harmony of God is hidden within the differences in character. St. Paisios the Athonite. One day a person came to my hut and told me that he is very upset because he does not agree with his wife. But I noticed that there was nothing serious between them. He had a bulge and his wife had another bulge, and so they couldn't get near each other. They just needed a little planning to smooth out their differences. Take, for example, two rough, unplaned wooden boards. One has some knot at one point, the other another at some other point. If you try to connect them, they will have some empty space between them. But if you plane one down here and the other a little there, but with the same plane, they come together at once. Some men tell me, I don't agree with my wife, we are the complete opposites. How does God allow for such strange matches? Couldn't He provide so that couples would be compatible and live spiritually? But I tell them, don't you understand that in this very difference of character lies hidden the harmony of God? It is the different characters which create harmony. God forbid that you should be the same in character. Think of what would happen. For example, both of you had a short fuse. You would tear the house down. Or if both of you were mild in character, you would fall asleep standing up. If you were both stingy, you might have been suited to each other, but you would both go to hell. And if you were both too open-handed, would you be able to maintain your household? You would have destroyed your home, and your children would be running in the streets. If you were both contrary and disagreeable characters, would there ever be anything similar between you? You would kill each other in one day. So do you see what happens? God provides for one good character to marry another who may be disagreeable in order to be helped. For it may have been that he or she had a disposition to be good, but never had the help to become so from an early age. The little insignificant differences in the characters of spouses help to create a harmonious family, because one completes the other. A car needs the petrol pedal to move, but it also needs the brakes to stop. If the car only had brakes, it would not budge, and if it only had gas, it wouldn't stop. Do you want to know what I told a couple once? You don't match because you are a match. They were both very sensitive. If something happened at home, they lost their composure and both would start to say, "Oh my God, what is going to happen to us?" And the other would say, "Oh my God, what is going to happen to us?" In other words, one just makes the other more hopeless. One can't help the other a little by saying, "Wait a minute, this is not as serious as you make it out to be after all." I have seen this in many married couples. Even when it comes to raising their children, parents can be more helpful to them when they're different in character. One holds on to the brakes while the other says, "Let's give the children a little freedom." If they both pressure and restrain the children too much, they will lose them, and if they both leave them completely unrestricted, again they will lose them. Through a balance, the children are kept on an even keel. What I am saying is that everything is needed. One shouldn't go to extremes, but each husband or wife can help the other in his own way. For example, if you want to eat something very sweet, you also want something that is a little salty. Let's say that you ate a lot of grapes, but then you also wanted a bite of cheese. to cut back on the sweetness, or if the green vegetables are too bitter, they cannot be eaten, but with a little olive oil they become delicious. But a little bitterness, as with a little sourness, is very good for you. But if someone who's sour says, "All of you ought to be sour like me," and another who's bitter says, "All of you ought to be bitter like me," then we just can't get along.